Hello everyone and welcome back to Affinity for Commander, where today we're counting down the best and worst legends printed in the Lord's Year of 2024. As always, if you like any of the cards you see here in this video, then please make sure you make all your purchases through our lovely affiliate links in the description box below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but really helps the channel out quite a lot. And of course, all prices you see here today are provided by the fabulous sponsor of our channel, the amazing cardmarket.com. Now, just before we start, as a little point, I'm not including in either of these lists any cards that have been exclusively printed in the Secret Layers, i.e. the Marvel Legends, because otherwise the top spot would just be, Storm, Cap, and Iron Man, because I really like those cards that are popular and well designed. But I've already done an entire video on my issues with that, so if you want to know why, go watch that. But for the time being, just core Magic products in these lists, which, even that's becoming a bit loosey-goosey these days. But it is Christmas after all, so let's be charitable and lovely so I can get back to enjoying this cup of definitely just coffee. Now for the number 5 spot, I could not decide whether to give it to the legend that supports an underdeveloped creature type with a great ability, or the creature with a great ability supports a slightly more developed creature type. So I guess let's, there we go. Ezio it is. Assassins overall kind of sucked with limited support and no real uniqueness to them beyond being a slightly edgier version of rogues. But now with a decent 5-color commander with a broken keyword, they finally have a home and all their little stabby dreams can come true. Until you free run into a wall and start humping the plaster because being chased by 15 different guards because you messed up a button prompt on the sneak stab. Oh, just me? Cool. Cool. Meanwhile, the card that makes it more worthless not only is to be badly designed and see incredibly limited play, but needs a very unique reason to make it into my personal 10th circle of hell. Like, for example, being the main character of one of the Magic the Gathering sets, and no one with a gun to their head could actually tell you what your card even does. Alquist Prof, the detective of all detecting a mythic worth less than a Freddo. He makes clues and then can do a bad Sphinx's revelation. This could have done a Yagra and turned all the stuff into clues. That would have been cool and flavorful. But instead, we've got a commander that'll be quickly as forgotten as the rest of that fedora-wearing set. M'lady. Happy place. And of course, being released later in the year and thus still being fresh in my memory is, whilst a cheap tactic, definitely one that works, and hence why Niv-Mizzet still comes in at the number 4 spot. And is a commander that doesn't run any card draw. That is a lovely, silly cEDH idea that manifests into a strong regular deck and is just simply hilarious. And yes, maybe me creating a deck tech for them makes me a little bit biased, but what the hell, he turns Flame Rift into draw 12 for 2 mana, so who the heck cares? He is a dumb, fun, is-it commander that makes burn genuinely viable, which is not something that's very easy to do in Commander with everyone having a total of 120 life that you've got to lightning bolt your way through, so good job, Niv. And whilst I do appreciate Wizards giving new spins and great mechanics to existing legends, what I do not appreciate is Wizards desperately trying to make new characters become the faces of the format and become cool and edgy and interesting when, we're the audience, Wizards. We'll decide that, thanks. Please see Loot for one such example of this. The other, and my 4th worst, being Kellen the Kid. But whilst I could have picked any Kellen card here, the character is insufferably pushed as being cool and badass, when everyone only seems to know him for being some barely passable commander with his cowboy hat version being simply a worse version of Kodama of the East Tree. Yes, he's 3 colours and cheaper, but the ability is just one of those, reads great at first, but then devolves into just banned good stuff with no clear direction other than look at my cool hat. And frankly, I hate him for that. Now, for the 3rd spot, a card I probably should hate, but I just can't bring myself to, is Necro Bloom. A genuine Field of the Dead on Abzan coloured legs, which honestly is actually better than Field of the Dead because it gives you a plant even before you get the required number of different lands. But it's a second line of text where it gets truly spicy and why it gets to number 3. Giving Dredge to all your lands, turning all your lands into Dakmor Broken Salvage is extremely powerful and just fuels a sick package of reanimation and landfall, the likes of which has not been seen. The Git Rogue monster is quite frankly being disrespected by over how good Necrobloom is. And since they're in Abzan, you get to go around with token synergies, land synergies, and if you're really tired of having friends, I guess you can even pull off that combo with the Git Rogue all the more easily. But this plant boy has range, powerful effect, and the correct colours. Beautiful.
That's not even...
Now the next legend is entirely here because whilst they do suck, it's also pointing to a much bigger problem in Magic the Gathering at the moment. Marina Vendril is once again another 5-color Enchantress commander, but does have a solid ETB trigger. All enchantments to your hand is rather decent, but beyond that her other ability to unlock a room is going to be used, forgotten, and never brought up again. Rooms are 100% the battles all over again, and now don't get me wrong, I think rooms are way better than battles, if only because they are in fact versatile enchantments, and I do like that. But Marina being able to unlock this side for free is, whilst powerful, she is still, ironically, locked herself into being just about that one card type printed in this one spooky set. It's mutate all over again, and I am not about that. You are not any level of Tom Bombadil, and rooms are not sagas. And she, along with the mutate commanders, are just another iteration of Wizards printing a really good and fun idea and then completely forgetting about it. Marina is not going to get any more support for the deck she's meant to command unless they decide to bring rooms back, which, you know, if they do, great, I'll take her off the list. But until then, she is still a symptom of a print it once, forget about the mechanic style of deck building and card design, which I cannot and will not be okay with. Now back to the fun side, it is a rare occasion where a card will be spoiled and I will speed blitz down to our LGS just to pre-order it to make sure I have that juicy tentacle in my life. Yeah, I know what I said. Ulalek Fused Atrocity is a rules nightmare of a commander that is 5 colors, but really not. Demands you play enough to play Wurburg, but not really. Plus they want you to pay even more mana for Eldrazi spells when they're already costing half a mortgage, but repays you with not just a copy of the creature or spell, but also a copy of the cast triggers as well. Double Ulamog, double Worldbreaker. Honestly, if you get double Hideous Taskmaster triggers, then the other 3 opponents should probably just fold at that point. Ulalek is the perfect mirror of Zuladork, giving all those devoid Eldrazi with their broken abilities a home. And what a beautiful home it is. Now before we go on, let me remind everyone about to break their keyboards in half by telling me this commander is powerful, broken, the best thing ever since sliced bread. Let me point something out. The worst lists are for cards that are badly designed, represent horrible trends, or just lead to ruining the game of Magic the Gathering through their obnoxiousness like a vegan at a steak restaurant. And absolutely no legendary creature encapsulates these better than one stupid bird face. Whenever the bans get brought up, it is that Jeweled Lotus helped bigger commanders get out on time and make some strategies genuinely viable. Crypt did nothing wrong, and Dockside was Red's way to catch up with everyone's ramping. But no one, beyond the most depraved basement-dwelling Griff apologists out there, try and defend Nardu's banning. The design team pretty much admitted that he was not tested properly and that they missed the 0 equip cost interaction with their ability, which, you know, okay? The games were long and boring and you couldn't shortcut them, so it either led to everyone kill the Nardu player immediately for simply playing that commander, which felt a bit out of nowhere, or you all have to sit there and die slowly over the next 10 to 15 minutes because a Shuko resolved. I played Nardu, I played against Nardu, and I hope that Nardu's visage gets carved in stone upon Wizards HQ to remind them of the destruction and utter bullshit they wrought. Goodbye forever, you stupid bird. Now, my top commander, the best commander of the year, is one that is completely powerful, maybe even broken, but definitely stayed just below the bar of nonsense that might get them to be talked about being banned. And that shows a good commander. One that was even, given away at a pre-release, no less. Voja, Jaws of the Conclave, gave an already bloated creature type a strong commander in 3 colours, access to potential commander damage win con, card draw, buffing the entire team, and with a Ward 3 slapped right on there for good measure. Elves already had several great commanders, and then Voja comes out swinging, offering access to Boros Charm, Shalai and Halar nonsense, and Rhythm of the Wild. What budding elf player could possibly refuse such an offer? I genuinely love Voja. Yes, they are obviously very powerful, but not unbeatable. They help elves out and remove their deck's shortcomings by giving them a bigger payoff commander and power to get through for damage if the game goes on too long. This is what a well-designed commander looks like. It is powerful and it gets people talking about it, but not talking about banning it. That's when you know you've got something really special. But there is only one spot at the top of my worst list. Now, last year I gave it to Venser for being a terrible card, ruining a legacy character's, legacy, and taking the Magic the Gathering equivalent of a massive dump in my cornflakes. But absolutely no single legend got me feeling that way this year. It's been more of a meandering slog with the most beige waves imaginable. But then I remembered what did give me that feeling, and also remembered it's my list, so screw the rules. The worst commander of the Lord's Year of 2024, printed in Magic the Gathering, goes to every single pony commander printed in Thunder Junction that is just a strictly worse version of themselves in a goddamn Stetson. Obeka, worse. File Smasher, worse. Malcolm, worse. Riku, frankly insulted. Marchesa, aren't you meant to be running a kingdom? Krov, worse. Lazav, worse. Bruce Tall, my main man, is now an Ox Kindred commander, for some reason. I get the fact that Thunder Junction is where all the little Octopaths meet and all these characters can come together, but maybe we should take Ian Malcolm's approach and ask the question, not can they, but should they be all together? And equally, why are they all worse than their previous selves? Old Marchesa would not give new Marchesa the time of day or even admit her into court, and File Smasher would kill his new self then laugh about it. Maybe it's the commercialization of beloved characters into character shows of themselves, or maybe it's just the dumb hats. But all I know is that all of you guys need to share the one excrement covered trophy, so make sure you pass it around. And that will be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What were your favourite and least favourite legends from this past year? Let us know in the comments below. As always, all of Affinity for Commanding content is made possible thanks to the support of our amazing patrons. You guys are truly, truly awesome. Thank you for sticking with us throughout this entire year. If you too like to become a patron of the channel and support us, then be sure to check out the link in the description box below. You can also support the channel through the quick and easy ways, liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video on your preferred social media platform. But as always, guys, I've been Alex. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time.